What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. I just want to recap 2021 for me personally and for Grateful Living. I just have bullet points written down. So if I ramble or am not cohesive in my thoughts, I apologize in advance. But yeah, so just to get started, I'll start on the personal side. January to March was obviously interesting because the vaccine wasn't out, for the public. So, um, for that time period, um, wasn't doing a lot of socializing. And, it's just it's an interesting reflection point, because, I feel like so many people reflected from that March 2020 to whenever March 2021, um, on life, on jobs, on things like that. And it's just interesting to note that, to make to leave a job or to leave a relationship or, whatever the case may be. Um, I think it's a good reflecting point for all of us that, that we all need to do some reflection. It shouldn't take a pandemic to create major change in our life. Um, March I ended up getting the vaccine, um, and I actually made the decision to, move out of my, um, parents' house. I'd lived there um, since graduating from college in 2017, so it had been, um, close to, 3 years and 10 months or something like that. Um, and let me say this: I think obviously, living with your parents became a lot more of a reality for a lot of people in COVID. Um, so I think a lot of people have experienced it now, but I love my parents. It was a good move, to save money, to their place was close to my workplace, and I was still able to enjoy Boston on the weekends and see friends. Um, I think the major thing, if you're someone that is thinking about it, I mean, I think it's, for me, it was really more of a mental thing of being independent. Um, even, and it's just small things, but like even on the weekends, if I'm gonna, go out and see friends for dinner, it's like, hey, are you gonna, be back, tonight, or are you staying over? Like, answering those questions, it kind of makes you feel like you're a teenager. And I just wanted to mentally move on from that phase in my life. Um, I also just wanted to, enjoy living near Boston. I had never done that. Um, and so it was just something that I wanted to experience. Um, and I think it's also good for the parents too, right? It prepares them, for life. Hopefully, if I do get married someday, I'll probably be living separately. So it prepares them in terms of, seeing what life is like. Um, yeah, I mean, as I said in March, I got the vaccine. That's always, a good thing for, it's just cool to see what science can um, develop in a relatively short amount of time. Um, and what, you know, a lot of effort can get you. Um, you know, having the perspective of this being December of 2021, and you know the Omicron variant, you know, creating a huge rise in cases. Um, it seems like we're gonna deal with this, you know, COVID thing for, you know, another 2 years, if not our lives. Like, it just seems like we're gonna get boosters every year. I mean, with the number of unvaccinated people and things like that, it just feels like the virus is gonna continue to mutate. So that's sort of a sour note, because it's sort of like we're always living in this fear of, you know, like, you know, huge breakouts, you know, and things like that. Um, I think one of the benefits of this year, obviously, was with the vaccine coming out, being able to, you know, see people, and, you know, see friends. You know, I basically didn't see anyone from March of 2020 to December, you know, to March of 2021, really, honestly. So went to a lot of different places. Fortunately, you know, DC saw Pat, and Alex, in May, July 4th. Um, you know, went down to New Jersey, saw, you know, shout out to Will and his family, and saw all of my junior year roommates. Went down to Cape Cod, hung out with my senior year roommates, an amazing time. Um, you know, went to Columbia to visit one of my best friends, Mackenzie. Um, you know, also went to Philly, shout out to Joey, Wendy, Mackenzie, and the whole crew. Went to Miami, with Dave, Drew, Eddie, Alex. Amazing time there, and did a lot of stuff in Boston too. You know, whether it's restaurants or bowling or J. Cole concert, Juice Band concert, Celtics games, like, um, aspects of this year, you know, had the normalcy vibe, and you know, just grateful and appreciative of that. Um, you know, and it's just, you know, the in-person support of talking to someone or hugging someone is just so much different than the um, virtual nature. Um, this past fall semester went, finished up my MBA at Babson. It's funny, I really was gonna do virtual this semester, but um, you know, ran into um, a couple friends, and shout out to Simran and Arushi, um, you know, who I knew previously, and kind of, you know, with their, them being there, uh, decided to go in person for the semester, and met a lot of, you know, first year students, and made good friendships with them. Um, you know, shout out to Lakshya, Baldev, Rohit, Will, Harsh, Gaurav, like the list goes on and on. You know, just appreciative of all those people. Um, you know, and I was blessed, you know, this year I made new friendships, you know. Shout out to Asia and John. Really nice to just meet someone um, with similar lifestyle goals, um, you know, and just kick it, you know, and you know, gained a best friend. Shout out to Drew. Um, you know, obviously he and I were, you know, friends throughout BC and post grad, but this year we just, when I moved out, to Boston, um, just, decided to grab a meal, and, just the friendship grew from there, and thankful for that. Um, I tried out, adult sports leagues. Um, it was um, something, in terms of making new friends I wanted to try out, or, and just also, playing basketball, which is one of my passions. Definitely recommend people, continue to do their passions outside of, your work. What else stands out? I think one other lesson that I learned, I think it's okay to question, whatever it is that you want, whether it's a job, career, friendship, relationship, whatever it is, because either that's going to create more clarity in the path that you are going, or it's going to give you a reflection point of maybe I should try and be open to a new change. And like I said, I think that happened for a lot of people. I think one of the things that I also learned was, I think I've accepted it, is life is full of ups and downs. Um, I think so prior to this year I was so hell bent on, everything being good, every day being good, all ups. And, this year I finally realized ups and downs are normal. And I kind of accepted that, and that gave me a lot of power because um, I just wasn't going crazy in the downs, which was really nice. And I think this was the year I was my most authentic self. I said no to engagements, like hanging out or whatever when I was tired. I left parties at 12 if I was tired. Like I really put myself first, which I was really proud of this year. Um, and I definitely recommend it to other people. So that kind of rounds out my, personal 2021 reflections. I think in terms of grateful living, obviously the first thing that stands out is I personally didn't lose anybody I know to suicide, which is awesome. In 2019 and 2020, I lost people I knew, and so this was the first year after those 2 years that I didn't, which was great. I think one of the interesting things that I learned is if you create the spaces, you can talk about things, right? I spoke to Maria about losing her father to cancer. I spoke to Anna about losing her mom, on 9/11. It's interesting. Um, because it gives you, I don't know, it gives you the idea or the power to be like, if you go out there and create something, you can, even though it doesn't exist right now, you can. Um, I think that conversations help, and I think, people that have walked in different walks of life can help you, um, can give you new perspective on what to be grateful for. Speaking to, you know, Maria, I became more grateful for my father being alive. Um, Not that I wasn't, but just it gave me new perspective. Same thing with Anna. You know, um, she wasn't with her mother since she was like 5 or something like that. And I've had my mom for 27 years. And so it's just things that you should you learn to be more appreciative of yourself. I think um, one of the cool things was consistency leads to results. I tell people I didn't really change anything in my process, but, um, and again, not that I am doing it for the plays or anything like that, but, we ended up with over 40,000 plays and, on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, and over 120 plays on, IG, Instagram videos, and Reels. And a lot of the guests we got were um, you know pretty accomplished individuals themselves. um, whether you're talking about Ruben Harris, Kara Golden, Brady Quinn, Vincent Rougeau. Like, there was just um, it was cool seeing people in those stratospheres willing to support the mission of, talking about the whole person, speaking about mental health topics, things of that nature. And what it taught me really is the only, like, for goals, the only limit is you, right? You know, for example, I used to reach out to one person a day, right? And then I thought, hmm, why am I limiting myself to that? Why not five? Why not, and so whatever it is for you, um, like, the only limit is you, right? Um, but on that same front, I think you also learn your limits. When I started the series, How I Improved My Mental Health, I burned out, because I was almost like doing it 2 podcasts a week, with the prep work and stuff like that. And I just couldn't maintain that. And so I, stopped that after 5 or 6 episodes. But, um, you learn stuff there as well. Um, Overall, I'm just thankful for everyone that's supporting and loving the mission. Um, you know, um, you never know what happens, you never know what can happen. And I'm excited for, the conversations we can have in 2021 or 2022. So yeah, this was a long episode, but hope you enjoyed. Um, I think, like I said, 2021 was a great year, um, as I look back at it, and so I just want to thank, my friends, family, and everybody who supported me personally and supported Grateful Living. I think the love, the positivity, the community we're building is really amazing, and just hoping for a great 2022 for all of us. Thanks, guys.